Well, they shot it down, bang, bang, it hit the ground, bang, bang. The Supreme Court shot it down. I'm talking about student loan forgiveness. SoFi would have been the company you would expect to have shot up relative to that news. However, it did not. And, this is actually something that they themselves, I think, predicted. They had mentioned at different points, maybe partly to reassure shareholders, that loan forgiveness in the $10,000 range would not have been a major impact on their bottom line in the long run. And this could be due to a number of things, but I think it's primarily because those seeking SoFi refinances generally would be those with balances that are so high that the monthly payment represents a substantial burden upon them. So, that being said, there's still a little something, I think, dragging on SoFi right now. Maybe holding back some of the bulls a little bit, keeping them in their pen. Now, personally, myself, I was interested in this company when it had dipped below $5. I thought this is starting to add up to a potentially interesting value, simply because even though it's a newer company, faster growing, we were approaching basically a reasonable price based on book value, at least more reasonable than what you would generally see on like a brand new company that only just recently became a bank in the first place, by the way. But now they've kind of rocketed back up past the point where I feel like there's any kind of compelling value argument to be made. So I'm more or less passing on this for the moment. But if there's someone that's on the line, maybe, weighing their bull thesis, bear thesis, whatever, thinking it might still be a good value based on, projected growth or something, well, I have some commentary on what's dragging them down currently, or preventing them from, taking off to the races, so to speak. So there's still a pause on payments and interest, right, with regards to student loans. Okay, interest resuming September 1st, and this is studentaid.gov, by the way. So no spin here, this is just the situation. And payments will be due starting in October. So let's say you've got a huge chunk of student loan debt on your hanging over your head right now, casting a shadow over your finances. But at the moment, there's no interest accruing and you don't have to make any payments. Until that resumes, what exactly is it motivating you to go to SoFi and apply for a refinance? Nothing. People aren't going to be compelled to take action until they feel the economic impact on a monthly basis for those repayments. Okay? They start making a $500, $600, $700 payment every month. They feel that squeeze. That is going to be the thing that starts to make them think, oh geez, I wonder if I can get this payment down somehow and make a better deal. And when people think student loan refinancing, generally speaking, like SoFi is near the top of that list. That's kind of what they built their brand and their name on. It's their flagship product. But the fact is, this has to be having a negative impact on people going and signing up for that. Why would you? There's absolutely, it's just on the face of it. And this is the thing that they've lobbied the hardest to put a stop to, because they're sitting here saying, hey, everything's reopened. Unemployment is has been at it's been at all-time or recent historic lows at the very least for a while now, and yet still you're not making people repay student loans, and it's killing our student loan refinance business. I think that it's been, I do think that when everything was locked down and like a lot of people maybe weren't working or were furloughed or whatever, there was that argument of, hey, like the whole economy is suffering. Let's pause a few things strategically, make sure student loans being among them, make sure that we give people, the economy, a chance to start working again, people a chance to start bringing something in. But it's 2023 now. Okay. I haven't had to wear a mask in public. I can't even remember exactly when the last time was that I had to do that. Like everybody's back to work. Like things are pretty much operating. We're pretty much living in a post-lockdown world now these days. And I think SoFi had a reasonable argument there. And I think that's the thing that's still dragging down both the growth in their business to an extent. I think it could be growing a lot more if not for these pauses. And their stock price, their share price, right? Like, I understand why people might be hesitant to invest money when their flagship product is basically on pause from anybody wanting to, sign up for it. So I think, though, that if you're a long-term investor, and I don't think long-term means like you plan to buy the stock and hold it for a year. I think if you plan to hold it for like 20 years, that this should barely register as a blip on your radar if you think that the valuation today makes sense. Because certainly this isn't going to go on forever, and people will at some point or another have to, start paying the piper on these things again. Now, there's been some bluster about, they're going to find different ways to extend this, etc. Now that the forgiveness has been shot down. I'll never say never and something like that, but frankly, Congress has spoken about, not extending the pause, and the Supreme Court has spoken on the forgiveness. The piper is going to be paid. Okay? These are student loans are non-bankruptable. They cannot be discharged. They follow you to the grave. SoFi is going to be able to start bringing in customers again within the next probably 3 or 4 months. I expect to see, more people starting to sign back up for these refinances, assuming that SoFi can offer because interest rates have gone places. Assuming SoFi can offer a competitive interest rate, of course. But that's just my take on this whole situation with SoFi. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you own any shares of SoFi, what you think of the whole student loan payment / forgiveness, the pause, the forgiveness, the Supreme Court thing, all of that stuff. Not to get overly political, please just try to keep it more based towards the impact on SoFi and everything like that. And don't attack each other. Please don't want to have to bring out the banhammer for anybody. And feel free to hop on my Discord. The link will be in the description. Hit the join button. I'll link that in the description as well. Become a member because I'm only 99 cents a month, and I don't charge any exorbitant prices for any kind of courses or anything. That's not what I'm about. I just like to bring my perspective into the conversation on different stocks, investments, finances, etc. Take it easy, everyone. Subscribe if you haven't already. And cheerio, chap.